Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, and let's get right into it, guys. And you're going to have to excuse my voice, guys. I have a bit of a cold, so it may break or crack here and there, but you guys should understand that. I'm trying to do this in less than 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes or less. That is my goal. Let's jump right into it. Now, first and foremost, guys, I have to tell you, watching this game against the Buffalo Bills, it almost brought a tear to my eye. Yeah, I almost shed a tear, and you know why? Because that looked like old school Steelers football. Smash mouth Steelers football. Steelers used to always be about stop the run and run the football. And shout outs to my boy Tony. He knows who he is. We speak about this a lot. It reminded us of the days of Dan Crowder. Remember when we had Crowder in the backfield as a fullback and Bettis? That's what it looked like. Rosie Nix came in there and did an outstanding job. An amazing job. The offensive line did an outstanding job in general. B.J. Finney. If I had a couple game balls to give to, the offensive line, it would definitely be to B.J. Finney, as well as you got to add Rosie Nix in that mix. These guys were making some outstanding blocks. DeCastro did a good job. I also definitely saw, Chris Hubbard come in and do a great job as an extra blocker. But the standouts to me were B.J. Finney and Roosevelt Nix. Rosie Nix was getting it done, even on the special teams. Consecutive back-to-back tackles, first man down the field. This is what I'm talking about. That's the type of effort you want to see from a guy who is a fullback, but then he contributes all over the field. That's what I like. But B.J. Finney, keep an eye on B.J. Finney, because I think this kid, the times that he has played, he's definitely looking like somebody who can work his way into a starting position down the road. All right, of course, when Ramon Foster is there, he's going to be the guy. But it's good to have a backup like that. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of B.J. Finney. Now, the offensive line as well is keeping Ben relatively clean. The last consecutive weeks, we have seen really no sacks given up. Maybe a couple here and there, but Ben has a lot of time. Now, speaking of Ben, bad game. Bad game. The first two interceptions, it could have been communication with Ladarius Green as well as Antonio Brown. Even Ben said himself on the Antonio Brown situation, he should have called a timeout. I think Kobe Hamilton was late getting on the field. It was all kinds of disarray. Forced it. I actually heard on the Terrible podcast, Dave and Dave, I actually heard those guys say that Antonio Brown was the only guy running a route on that play. Just crazy. I didn't really recognize all that when it happened. May should have called the timeout there. But the third one was a little crazy to me, because that's a play that Ben makes all the time. The ball seemed a little flat. Again, on the Terrible podcast, I heard one of those guys refer to it as like a lead ball. It was real flat, seemed real heavy, didn't float it. Jesse James is wide open, and the linebacker makes a great play on it. Excuse me. Like I said, guys, it may have had something to do with the weather, so I can understand that. But, Ben was just kind of off. Like I said, I will contribute some of that to the weather. Some of it could have been communication, but it is what it is. But it's great to see when you're having a bad day. Guess what you do? You go to your bell cow. Le'Veon Bell is a stud. There's really nothing else for me to say. This guy's an animal. Not only does he eat up yards when he gets his opportunities, but the opportunities he doesn't shy away from. He touches the ball 30 to 40 times. Feed the beast. When he's hungry, let him eat. What a game, man. Setting the Steelers record, single, game rushing record or yards record or what have you, 2 yards away from being having a 300-yard total 300-yard game. Just unbelievable. Excuse me again, guys. Like I'm telling you, the cold is getting to me, but, I can't stop work for that. We got to bring this show to you guys. But I don't really know what else to say about Le'Veon Bell. I've been saying it since he came in the league. I liked what I saw out of him in Michigan State. He's the truth. Only thing I would say about Le'Veon Bell, I just hope that the maturity continues to grow. He doesn't have any more off-season issues, nothing like that. No suspensions. Looking at him gaining 1,000 yards, and missed 3 games this year. I mean, I don't want to see that no more from him. I think this guy is mature. I think he's made mistakes. We're all human. But he seems to be a guy that gets it, wants to be great, and we'll see what happens. The end of the season is going to be interesting, though. My prediction, I think we franchise tag Le'Veon Bell, but we'll see because we got, Antonio Brown coming up the next year as well. Now, speaking of that, Antonio Brown, obviously didn't make a whole lot of noise in the game since, the run game was going so well in the snowy conditions. But that comeback catch that he made down the sideline, I mean, that's AB. And I love this. Let me say this. The fact that we came out and spread the defense. This is how we need to play when we play the Ravens. The Ravens will load that box on you like they did on us, and we kept trying to pound it in there. We can't do that. I was grateful. I mean, I was so happy. I was like glowing when I saw the way that first drive was called. Come out, spread them out, passing, because it's a psychological thing, man. For one, it's snowing on the ground. You come out attacking like that, they not expecting it. For two, they letting you know, like, listen, y'all ain't gonna just shut this run down. We gonna pass on you. We gonna be the passing Steelers that y'all know, and then we may come back to the run later. Great execution there. Had the interception not happen, we probably score on the first drive, at least a field goal. It was great to see. Keep that game plan in mind when we face the Ravens. Gotta do that. Still got to work a little bit on the offensive penalties. We still had a hold. I think B.J. Finney had one in a false start. Again, I'm not going to hold him again, hold that against him too much. Maybe a few jitters or what have you, but overall that guy played an amazing game. Defensively, where do I start? Ryan Shazier. I keep saying this every week. When this guy is healthy, it might not jump out, when you're watching it, but if you really look at every detailed aspect of the game, Ryan Shazier was an animal in that game, blowing up the run. Missed a few tackles here and there, but that's because he was coming in so hard. That's something that you can clean up. You can clean that up, your approach and your technique. Speaking of that, Artie Burns, his tackling has definitely grown. I heard, Coach Tomlin say that in the press conference, and this is a perfect example of what I'm saying. You can, work on techniques and things like that so you'll be better at making tackles. But Shazier, man, all over the field, he is definitely an X factor. Excuse me, guys, I'm battling this cold. But, man, what an outstanding performance by the defense. They got a little lax a little late. And it is what it is. Artie Burns get another interception, and he went for a second interception on that Clay touchdown. It is what it is. And then, Davis and Will Gay hit each other, knocked themselves out of the play, and it is what it is. Also, missed tackles on that little dump off to Shady McCoy. So things like that we definitely got to clean up. But overall, man, the defense ball, they shut down the run, did a fairly decent job on the pass, but they really contained Shady McCoy as well as Tyrod Taylor. And that's the type of things we're going to have, man, if we want to be a team that can do something. I will say this as I wrap this up, guys. I told you I'm getting it under 10 minutes now. That type of effort that we showed against the Giants and now the Bills, more respectable teams and respectable defenses. If the Pittsburgh Steelers can keep their defense playing like that, I think we could make some noise. How far can we go? I don't know. I still think we're a little shaky in certain aspects, but I think we could definitely make some noise. I feel a little more confident about the division now. We can't have any letdowns. We need to go to Cincinnati. It's going to be a tough game, but we need to get that game, and then we need to take care of business on Christmas. We got to get back in the win column against Baltimore. But I still feel like there's room for a 10-6, meaning there could be a loss somewhere in here. And I think that would be enough to get the division. But we have to, I don't know. Because what we can't do is we definitely can't get back in a tie with Baltimore and then lose to Baltimore. And that'll just derail everything. But we'll see. But very possible that we could do 11-5. Also could be possible, don't sleep, Philly could possibly beat Baltimore this week. If that happens, then the Steelers really just got to go 1-1. You know, they got to win at least one game after Cincinnati if they beat Cincinnati. You know, so it's kind of crazy. And let's keep an eye on Denver as well. Let's keep an eye on them because that, you know, somehow the Steelers and the Ravens could possibly slide in. Could be very interesting. But that's all I got for you guys. I think I was able to do it in 10 minutes or less. I'm proud of that. I believe I covered everything that needed to be covered. If not, please leave your comments, leave your thoughts. Let me know some of the things I didn't hit on that you loved about the game and or hated. And I will definitely respond to you in the comments. But I appreciate you guys bearing with the voice and the coughing and all of that jazz. But hey, man, it was great to get a win. And like I said, this type of team having enough defense and the offense rolling could do something. We'll see. All of the young guys are coming together now, so we'll see. But that's all I got, guys. We'll see what happens in Cincinnati. That is the show. Let's get it. Here we go. Let's get ready for this stretch, guys. 3 games left. Will we get in or will we not? All right, guys. So that's all I got for you. Definitely, when you see the screaming face, go ahead and hit that to sub. And like always, it'll never hurt you to hit that like button. All right, guys. Check you later. Peace.